Welcome back to my channel, guys, and today we're going to be making this curry chicken, and if you'd like to know how, stay tuned. So we're going to be making a small batch here. I'm starting off seasoning with some salt. If you want to make a larger batch, just go ahead and double up the amount of your chicken and the seasoning you see me using here. So far, like I said, I have some salt, I have some black pepper. Now I'm starting with this hot Jamaican curry here, and I'm also going to be adding an additional type of curry here, which is the chief curry powder. I want to just show you guys what that looks like. And then I'm going to go ahead in with some green seasoning. Google Trini green seasoning if you don't know what that is. And then I'll go ahead in with some thyme. And then I'm just going to go ahead and include some onions, and the potatoes on the other side of our cutting board here will be added to the dish later on in the cooking process. So we're just going to leave that aside and give this a good mix. And yes, my hands are ashy. Do not be shady in the comments because your feet are ashy right now. But I'm not going there because that's just not right. And that's not what we're here for. Okay? Okay. We are not shading frequent hand washers in a panty. All right, so we got that all mixed up here, and now we want to go ahead and cook our curry to begin our cooking process. So I'm going ahead and putting in my pot some oil there, and then I'm going to be adding additional curry powder, both types, here to my pot. And I want to go ahead and brown the curry before I actually include my chicken in the pot. Don't ask me why. This is the way I learned. Now, it gives your food a better color, and it just helps the curry seasoning and flavor be the base of your dish, so that you don't just end up with chicken with like yellow sauce. Like, that's not what we're going for here. So we're going to allow that to go ahead and brown and sort of like sizzle, if you will. Like, you don't want it to burn. I showed you guys what that should look like before you add your chicken. And now I'm just going to go ahead and right to this pan or pot, whatever you're cooking in. I'm going to add my chicken, and you'll see here that I just want to give it a chance to seal in the flavor, like almost like you're frying your chicken first before you actually begin to like stew it down. So if you watch other videos on my channel, you'll see that I use this method quite often, actually. Because this is just how you begin all of your best dishes. Like, you have to seal your flavor in first. Brown your meat, give it a good color. So you see, this is what we have going on one side after we flipped it. This is how it looks at the time that we are finished sealing it in. So I do not know what your stove heat is going to be like, guys. I don't want to give you an exact time. This is the look that we're going for. It's not burnt at all. The camera is making it look a little darker, but it's not burnt at all. So now we're going to go ahead and add in those onions that we had and the rest of that seasoning that we had left in our pot. At this point here is where I would actually add my Scotch bonnet pepper. I didn't have any on hand, so I had to just go ahead and, do a little workaround. But at this point here, this is where I would add Scotch bonnet because I like my curry to be spicy. So I've added in those onions. I added in those potatoes that I told you guys we were leaving to the side. And we're going to then go ahead and cover this up again and let it cook down some more, because we want to let the onions and the potatoes and the chicken all go ahead and cook together. This is what it looks like here after about 15 minutes or so. Maybe 10 to 15 minutes. You really do want to keep an eye on your food guide. But this is why I give you such a good view of the pot, so you see what it looks like in there, so you know what's going on. So here we see we got it all mixed up. Again, guys, we are still not burnt by any means. We are just making sure everything is really cooked down before we go ahead and add this water we're about to here to our pot to go ahead and create the gravy, because we do not want this to be flavorless and just watery. Like, that's just nasty. Leave that to the Jamaicans. I'm sorry, shade but no shade, okay? Leave the curry to the Trinis. Anyhow, I've added the water into the bowl, which, like I said, had that seasoning from our original seasoning of our chicken. I've covered it right over the length, put the top on, and let that stew down. After about 20 minutes, guys, boom, our curry is done and finished. I will go ahead here and just let you see. This is how I can judge if my curry is about finished. I could stick a fork right in my potato. It's not hard. But you don't want to let your potatoes overcook because it will thicken your curry gravy way too much. That is the finished result. You see, nothing was burnt, guys. This curry is to perfection. I had mine with some white rice, plantain, and corn. Let me know how you enjoyed it down in the comments. As always, thanks for stopping. Bye.